We are so back. I am thrilled. It is day 2. Oh dear goodness. What could this possibly have in store for us today? Alright, let's click on problems. Honestly, I was thinking about, I don't know if this is smart.
Alright, post-decision Jasper here. That was just not a smart decision to do another enumerate question. Although, feeling a lot more confident in navigating through the arrays, I did feel a lot better, and I did notice the pattern a lot quicker when it came to the following question that we're going to be looking at today. But oh my goodness, I think I need to step away from enumerate, at least for tomorrow, because I don't know if it's just the type of question being asked or that I'm going to be bad at every question, but it was honestly, again, just a big challenge. But we fought through it, or I fought through it. You guys are just watching it. But thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy.
Idea, but I was thinking about just going back to enumeration and seeing if I could just knock out one of those problems really quickly. Is probably half as hard. But it's still gonna be easy if I blow through this.
Oh my god. Do I talk a lot? Jeez Louise. Basically, the question we're going to be looking at today is detecting patterns within an array. Basically the whole gimmick behind this problem is that when you're for looping through the question itself and you set your variable to I think that's what I end up doing in this question, is you want to set that as your baseline, as your pattern. Basically meaning you're starting at a 1 pattern, and every time that pattern doesn't work, you just extend the pattern by adding 1 to the count of how long your pattern is. We're given the pattern length through the parameter, and we're also given the amount of times the pattern shows up. If this pattern doesn't show up this many times, then it returns false, and if the pattern does show up this many times, it's true, making it a pretty easy Boolean question, kind of having a yes or no kind of result, which I think for me was a lot easier to think through logistically. Basically, at this part of the question, I am just trying to visualize how I'm going to possibly be approaching this. For me, it's really helpful to just write things down. I don't even know what I was drawing. I think I was drawing an eyeball because I was honestly delusional at this point because I felt like I was so far from the answer. But honestly, unlike last time, I was actually a lot closer right away than I thought I would. But I'm just going to skip to the part where I think I made the biggest breakthroughs, and we'll catch back in then.
Jeez. If pattern sliced from 0 to m, right? Because that's the length of the pattern.
Basically, the reasoning for this, why it's so incredibly stupid, is because I have just hard-coded the start of the array into every pattern. You can see how this would be a problem if the pattern doesn't show up within the first element of the array. Honestly, this is where my entire struggle for the rest of the entire question came from. It was this small little detail. It was actually I plus m, the distance of the pattern from the start of where I initiated the loop. Once I understood this, everything just went my way and the question just wrapped up really quickly.
Oh my goodness. Where is my scratch pad? Here it is. Alright. Basically, where I feel like we're at.
Nope. Don't listen to me because I lied. I was on the right idea, except one little piece of the puzzle hadn't clicked for me, is that I actually didn't need to store the pattern. I did, but I didn't need to store it within a variable. Because the part that was getting me stuck is I store one pattern, and then I want to move on to the next pattern if it didn't work. What you'll see coming up here is my solution is I'm actually rewriting the code because I threw it all out, and I'm condensing it into every time a loop is initiated, we check a new pattern. Therefore, we're not holding on to a pattern necessarily. And with a little bit of tinkering and some time looking at, or not some time looking at, but messing around with how the count moves forward alongside the pattern really helped clear things up, and it essentially got me to a way shorter, way more reduced code, which honestly is starting to become like a theme for me. I feel like I write way more code and then I'm like, wait, you just need like 8 or 9 lines, which makes sense why these questions are labeled as easy because it's really not that many lines of code, and I tend to feel like I'm overcomplicating it.
Uh, I mean, I understand that this is definitely a, I don't want to say a harder question, but I feel like I'm so close. I feel like, wait, am I doing too much? I might be doing too much. Do I even need to store the pattern? Wait, do I even need to store the pattern?
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the realization that took me 35 minutes today. You, in fact, did not need to store the pattern. And you can see here in the last, let's see, 15 minutes of my recording, I solve out the last bit of code in maybe 8 or 9 lines. I can't really remember here, but I'll complete it here sooner than later. But yeah, it honestly wasn't too difficult. It just took me a really long time to, I guess, reject my original thinking, which I think is something I'm starting to struggle a lot with when looking at like these quote unquote harder problems. I know it's an easy problem. Go easy on me, okay? I am trying my best. Oh, jeez. But yeah, no, it really wasn't too bad after that. And yeah, take a look at some answers shortly. So there it is. Another success, another day. Honestly, I'm quite proud of this one. I feel like I didn't really have to look anything up. I think the only thing I looked up was like comparing arrays. Like I don't even know why I looked that up. I feel like that was just not a great thing to look up. So I won't let you talk. I won't I won't let you talk. Sorry about that. I'm not. I won't let you have to listen to me thinking that I'm an absolute genius, but which I'm not, but it wasn't too bad, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching me struggle, but struggle less than I did yesterday. And honestly, I'm kind of excited for the one that I'll do tomorrow. I don't really know what category it's going to be in yet, so yeah, just enjoy me observing these other solutions, and I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching.